14 years of careful manipulation, lies, and hidden control all shattered in a single, explosive hour, and Robyn Brown sat there, powerless, watching it all come crashing down. The so-called one-on-one sister-wives special promised clarity, but what we got was far more electrifying: the unraveling of a carefully constructed persona. For over a decade, Robyn played the victim, the peacemaker, the woman who supposedly only wanted harmony. But this time, the cameras didn't lie. The receipts were relentless. Footage from past seasons contradicted every carefully rehearsed claim she made. The panic in her eyes? Impossible to miss. This wasn't a friendly interview. This was the reckoning. Fans have whispered, shouted, and argued for years about the cracks in Robyn's narrative. The calculated tears, the subtle manipulation, the way she isolated herself and Cody while destabilizing the other wives. They were dismissed as conspiracy theorists, but every single suspicion was about to be confirmed. As the host pressed with clips, dates, and evidence, Robyn's signature defense, the innocent, tearful act, collapsed under the weight of undeniable truth. Every calculated smile, every deflection, every plea for sympathy fell flat. Even the production crew reportedly sat in stunned silence, witnessing Robyn confront the reality she had always evaded: accountability. For the first time, Robyn sat alone. No Cody to steer the narrative, no camera tricks to distract, no ability to cry her way out of consequences. After 14 seasons of slipping past blame, we finally saw what happens when the carefully engineered facade meets unrelenting truth. And what emerged was not just cracks, it was a complete collapse. From the very first question, contradictions exploded. Footage contradicted words. Statements clashed with history. Every excuse, every version of misunderstanding was obliterated. Season 20's one-on-one special was designed for confrontation, and Robyn was utterly unprepared. The manipulations that once controlled the room now left her exposed. Viewers finally saw the long-feared reality. Robyn wasn't just surviving by chance, she was orchestrating. From financial maneuvering to strategic isolation, from controlling Cody's perception to undermining her sister wives, everything pointed to meticulous planning. The signs were there for anyone paying attention, but now they were undeniable, documented, undeniable, and unskippable. Christine, Yanel, and Mary, all three wives stepped forward, each testimony a scalpel dismantling Robyn's narrative. Christine's liberation, Yanel's documentation, Mary's long-suppressed truths. They converged into a single, devastating story of control, manipulation, and betrayal. And Robyn? She had nowhere to hide. Her tears, her excuses, her claims of being misunderstood, they all failed. Every deflection, every argument about editing, every attempt to rewrite history crumbled under the weight of evidence. Even her carefully timed strategies backfired. Every secret conversation with Cody, every private plan to influence the family, every carefully maintained hierarchy, they were laid bare. Robyn's admission on camera changed everything. She revealed not just her own role but the coordinated strategy with Cody to manipulate, marginalize, and ultimately dominate the family dynamic. Every injustice, every favoritism, every subtle undermining, all confirmed. And in that moment, viewers understood what insiders had long suspected. Robyn and Cody were a team, operating with precision, and everyone else had been collateral damage. The fallout was immediate. Social media erupted. Adult children, once silent, found validation. The public narrative of Robyn as the harmonious, innocent wife was destroyed. Her credibility, her influence, her control, gone. For the first time, the audience saw the family as it really was: fractured, manipulated, and exposed. By the end, the question remained: was this all deliberate? Was Robyn's entire public persona a strategy to secure status while dismantling the others? Or was she blind to her own destructive behavior? Whatever the truth, the innocent victim story ended here. Karma caught up, and the cameras captured every devastating second. The sister wives saga will never be the same. Robyn Brown's empire of control and sympathy has collapsed, leaving a cautionary tale of power, deception, and accountability. The myth is gone. The reality is raw. And the world just witnessed the fallout. 14 years of careful illusions, subtle manipulations, and hidden agendas all came crashing down in a single, unflinching interview, and Robyn Brown had nowhere to hide. From the very first question, it was clear. This was no ordinary reunion. This was a reckoning long overdue. For over a decade, Robyn had painted herself as the peacemaker, the one caught in the crossfire, the innocent bystander simply trying to keep the family together. But as footage from past seasons began to roll, the cracks in her story became impossible to ignore. Every calculated smile, every practiced tear, every carefully worded deflection was exposed for what it really was, a shield against accountability. The panic in her eyes was unmistakable. This wasn't a friendly chat designed for ratings or light-hearted confession. This was a confrontation. Every inconsistency, every overlooked manipulation tactic, every orchestrated tear came rushing to the surface. And for viewers, it was hypnotic. We watched as a woman so accustomed to controlling the narrative struggled to find even a single escape. No Cody by her side. No camera tricks. No rehearsed excuses. For the first time, Robyn was forced to face evidence, face questions, and face the wives she had long undermined, all without her usual safety net. Every denial, every claim of misunderstanding, every innocent protestation collapsed under the weight of undeniable truth. This was the moment fans had been waiting for. Years of suspicion, theory, and speculation were finally validated. Robyn's meticulous construction of power, control, and influence was laid bare. What viewers witnessed was not a woman misremembering events or misinterpreting dynamics. It was a carefully engineered pattern, and now, the audience could see it in full, undeniable clarity. As the tell-all progressed, Robyn's usual defenses began to crumble. Every carefully rehearsed line, every staged expression of innocence, every tactical tear was rendered useless. The host methodically pressed forward, replaying footage that contradicted her story, demanding clarity where there had only been deflection. Robyn's composure, so polished for years, faltered under the relentless scrutiny. Viewers could see it happen in real time, the gears in her mind spinning, searching desperately for an escape route that didn't exist. For once, the peacemaker facade couldn't shield her. Every manipulation, every subtle undermining of the other wives, every whisper to Cody behind closed doors was exposed as part of a long-running pattern. This was more than a confrontation, it was a full-scale unmasking. Fans had speculated for years about Robyn's influence over Cody and the family's dynamics, but now the evidence was undeniable. From financial decisions to household priorities, from isolating wives to controlling narratives, the scope of her actions became shockingly clear. Every claim of being blindsided, every insistence that she only sought peace, fell apart under the scrutiny of hard evidence. Even seasoned viewers could feel the tension in the room. The usual tricks, playing the victim, deflecting blame, feigning ignorance, were failing spectacularly. The energy shifted. The atmosphere was electric with accountability. And as the truth unfolded, it became clear that Robyn's carefully maintained image of harmony was nothing more than a facade for control. For the first time, the audience saw the full picture. A woman who had positioned herself at the center of the family, maintaining dominance through subtle manipulations, calculated tears, and selective storytelling. But now, with every contradiction laid bare, the illusion was shattered. The peacemaker, the innocent wife, the misunderstood figure, none of it could survive the relentless light of exposure. Then came the testimonies that truly tore the facade apart. Christine, Yanel, and Mary, each in her own way, revealed the reality Robyn had worked so hard to hide. Christine's exit, once shrouded in careful storytelling, was now exposed as a culmination of manipulation, isolation, and control. Her freedom, her happiness, cast a harsh light on Robyn's version of events, exposing the cracks that had been invisible to casual viewers. Yanel's approach was surgical, calm, and merciless. She came armed with documentation, a timeline of events that laid bare financial favoritism, strategic positioning, and the systematic undermining of her household. Every subtle slight, every whispered complaint to Cody, every decision that disproportionately benefited Robyn's household was traced and presented with unflinching clarity. There was no room for tears, no room for excuses, just undeniable evidence. Mary's account was the most devastating of all. Years of quiet endurance, loyalty, and marginalization came spilling out, revealing patterns of exclusion so deliberate they were almost elegant in their cruelty. She described being left out of family decisions, excluded from gatherings, and sidelined in ways that highlighted Robyn's calculated influence. Her voice cracked, but her truth hit harder than any stage drama ever could. For viewers, the message was undeniable. Robyn's persona as the compassionate, reasonable wife had been carefully constructed to mask a strategic, controlling role. The coordination with Cody, the selective support, the prioritization of her own household, all of it was now on full display. The audience could no longer ignore the consistent pattern. 3 separate wives, 3 nearly identical stories, all pointing to one conclusion. And Robyn? She was cornered. Every standard tactic, deflection, tears, excuses, failed. Every attempt to rewrite history or feign innocence was met with evidence, timelines, and documentation. The once untouchable narrative she had built over 14 seasons was crumbling, and the audience was watching every second of it unfold in real time. This wasn't just a tell-all, it was an unmasking. For the first time, the public could see the full scope of manipulation, the coordinated strategy, and the emotional toll inflicted on the other wives. Robyn's carefully maintained image of peace and innocence could no longer survive the onslaught of truth. By the time Part 4 rolled around, Robyn had almost nothing left. Every last defense, every familiar tactic, every rehearsed tear had been dismantled. The tell-all wasn't just exposing contradictions, it was revealing coordination. Her secret discussions with Cody, once hidden behind closed doors, now painted a chilling picture of strategy and control. Every private conversation that had been dismissed as normal marital discussion was now unmistakably a plan to influence Cody's perception of the other wives. Each evaluation of Christine, Yanel, and Mary revealed a calculated pattern: positioning, manipulation, and isolation. The audience could finally see the method behind the chaos. Robyn's careful construction of power wasn't random, it was orchestrated. As the host pressed on, asking the impossible questions, Robyn's signature defenses failed spectacularly. Claims of being misunderstood fell flat. Excuses about editing collapsed under unedited footage. Her tears, once a surefire escape, were met with silence, capturing an unmistakable sense of desperation. For 14 seasons, this woman had used emotion as armor, but for the first time, the armor shattered. And then came the moment of ultimate exposure. In a failed attempt to deflect blame, Robyn inadvertently confirmed what fans had long suspected: she and Cody were a team. Every manipulation, every exclusion, every financial advantage, it had been coordinated. Her attempt to save herself revealed the full scope of their alliance. The audience could finally connect the dots. The favoritism, the marginalization, the inequities, it was all strategic. Cody's reactions, subtle yet telling, only added to the devastation. The carefully crafted image of a stable, harmonious relationship that had been presented for over a decade was collapsing before viewers' eyes. Every decision that had seemed unfair, every moment of friction, every pattern of exclusion could now be traced back to the joint strategy between Robyn and Cody. Social media exploded as fans dissected every clip, every micro-expression, every contradiction. Longtime defenders found themselves questioning everything. Adult children reached out with messages of validation and frustration. The family's fragile connections trembled under the weight of exposure. And Robyn, usually unstoppable in her public persona, was silent, a rare, telling absence. The impact was undeniable. Robyn's carefully constructed narrative, the innocent victim story, the image of the compassionate, peace-seeking wife, all of it had collapsed. The reality, raw and unflinching, was now visible to the world. Control, manipulation, and strategic alliances had defined her role in the family. The tell-all didn't just expose her, it confirmed every suspicion, every theory, every whispered speculation that had haunted fans for years. For viewers, the lesson was clear. No more tears, no more excuses, no more illusions. Robyn Brown's reign of subtle control had been shattered, and the truth, the uncomfortable, undeniable truth, was now on full display. And then came Mary, the final piece of the puzzle, the most devastating revelation of all. Years of loyalty, patience, and endurance came crashing down as she laid bare the full extent of Robyn's manipulation. Mary had stayed silent the longest, enduring subtle exclusions and emotional distance that no one else had noticed or had been willing to see. But now, she spoke, and her words cut straight to the heart of Robyn's carefully constructed empire. Mary revealed a pattern so systematic it was almost surgical in its cruelty. Family events she believed she was invited to, changed or cancelled without notice. Decisions affecting everyone, made without her knowledge. Attempts to reach out to Robyn, met with excuses, delays, and silence. Every small act, every subtle maneuver fit into a larger plan, one designed to isolate her, weaken her, and ensure Robyn's dominance remained unquestioned. As Mary spoke, the cameras captured every micro-expression, every pause, every moment of suppressed frustration finally surfacing. Her voice cracked, her words trembled, but the weight of truth carried her far beyond the fear of confrontation. For viewers, it was impossible to look away. For years, Robyn had wielded tears, charm, and narrative control to shape the story, but now, those tools had no effect. The pattern Mary revealed was undeniable. This was the confirmation that the fandom had long suspected. Robyn's influence wasn't just about surviving in the limelight. It was about control, coordination, and dominance. Every private conversation with Cody, every financial decision, every subtle undermining of the other wives, it was all part of a deliberate strategy. And for the first time, it was fully exposed. The fallout didn't stop in the studio. Social media erupted. Fans analyzed every word, every gesture, every pause. Adult children found validation, support, and heartbreak in equal measure. The fragile illusions that Robyn and Cody had maintained for over a decade were shattered. The family structure, the narrative of the harmonious plural marriage, was irreversibly fractured. Robyn had no answers. No tears could save her. No excuses could repair the damage. Every claim of innocence, every attempt to rewrite history, every protestation of being misunderstood was dismantled in real time. The narrative she had spent 14 seasons building, her image as the compassionate, central wife, was gone, replaced with an undeniable truth. Manipulation, control, and strategic exclusion had been at the heart of her actions. By the final moments, it was impossible to ignore. Robyn Brown's carefully crafted mythology was demolished. Cody's alliance with her, the coordination behind closed doors, the systematic undermining of the other wives, all captured on camera, all undeniable. For viewers, this wasn't just a tell-all. It was a reckoning. A long-awaited, unflinching exposure that confirmed years of speculation and suspicion. The innocent victim story was finished. The truth was out. Karma had arrived, the veil was lifted, and for Robyn, and for the audience, the consequences were irreversible.